Hi, and welcome back to the Baddie Blessed podcast.
I'm your host, Nancy.
And I'm Marianette. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.
And to turn on your notifications because you do not want to miss a single episode.
Okay, baddies, let's get into it.
Okay, baddies. So today we're at the end of the month. It's October. What a great month it was, honestly. And with a lot of energies, this month was a lot about letting go, endings. So, Marianette, where do you think you had a really hard time letting go of something, detaching yourself, closing that cycle of that's it, it's over?
Wow. I feel like I mentioned it before, something that was really hard for me was letting go of like that job,
That's right.
There was like a lot of it that fell into like a lot of my identity was tied down to, like I said, not specifically that job, but having like the good job and having like showing the result of like working really hard to get somewhere and like build up your career.
So you said letting go of that job.
Yeah.
You were put in a position where you were forced to.
I was forced to,
She was forced to let go of this place. It almost wasn't by choice. So what do you think kept you from making that decision on your own of like, because I'm sure you knew it was like,
oh yeah,
it was
you
time.
know how
It was
unhappy
time.
I was.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying.
If you know me in real life, you know I was so unhappy to be at
But
that
yet
job.
she waited until the universe slapped her upside down and said, "Ya, cabrona, siéntate y se acabó."
Yeah.
But what do you think stopped you from letting go? Because that's where breaking these cycles becomes so challenging. Because deep down in your heart, your soul is begging you, ya estoy harta. Ya se acabó.
Or it's simply like whatever that is not aligning to your life path. But
anymore.
And I like, man, I can talk about this for hours because I felt like this last 2 years has been like an amazing journey for me. But what I learned about the experiences, because it's like we said, it wasn't just job, it was like my love life as well, which we're gonna discuss later. But a lot of it was fear.
Right.
Yeah. Fear of like, well, one is obviously there's attachment, right? You have an attachment to the life that you have kind of created for yourself or the vision that you have for your life. So there's a lot of fear of letting go of that, especially where there's nothing really like on the other side.
Right,
like
then you gotta go apply and you haven't gotten
I mean, I was in a position where I really couldn't get another job like the one that I had.
That's right. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so to me it's like, trust me, if it was another situation where, first of all, I wouldn't even have been at that job if it wasn't because of that situation. But yeah, I think for me, like what I learned, and like that's something that I'm trying to like remind myself all the time. I've learned that when I stay in a place, whether that is like an emotional place, a physical place, or a mental place, when I stay in a place out of fear, it's never gonna work out.
No, like, it really doesn't.
It's never gonna work out. Like the universe is like, I feel like the universe has really shown me, like God and the universe had really said, girl, if you are scared to really live the life that you're supposed to live, we're gonna keep turning things around until you're there.
And it's like you keep getting the same lesson over and over until you're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna learn it. You keep getting the same type of boyfriend in a different body,
different fonts, like they say.
You know what I mean? Jelly bean. And another job with the same people. You change jobs, but it's the same people again until you're ready to let go. I can speak for myself. I was we talked about me working at a restaurant. I was there for 7 years. Almost, 7 years, 7.5 years. And the last 2.5 of me being there, dude, I was energetically done. Like, the last 6 months, I could not make a single tip. Like, I was walking home with $50. And this place I worked at was not cheap. It wasn't like I was working at, I don't know, I don't want to say any names.
Yeah, let's not say any names.
I wasn't working at a low end place. I was working at a high end place. The plates are $45.
A bougie place, let's call it. It's a bougie place.
Yeah. And I was walking home with $50. It was like the saddest thing ever. And I knew the other thing, I would go to work and I was in a great mood and I'd walk home feeling miserable. Like I just felt like they sucked the living life out of me. And I thought I couldn't connect with customers anymore. Like
Yeah.
everything was just dragging. Now, mind you, I work with neurodivergent kids and adults.
In
So
another job.
in another job. So I had already started that job before I left the restaurant. So I did have like another
Like the
thing
backup.
to back me up. But at the end of the day, if you live in LA and you know how expensive it is to live here, a lot of people have two jobs at a time. That's just very normal. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And then I let it go. Have I had challenges since then? Of course I have. That comes with the whole package of taking a risk on yourself. But I knew, girl, that cycle had to close.
Yeah.
Next meant next. You know?
And you know what? I feel like I've been reflecting a lot. Like, like they're gonna when I see like parecen disco rayados, you know, like we're always talking about healing and the like how our growth and all of that BS or whatever. But like it really is like what where our life is right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, I have like the last 2 years. Well, the last 2 years I've gone through a lot, but specifically I want to say this year, which to me has been an amazing year, aside of all the BS going on that we can't control. But within what I can control and what I feel like is a representation of my life, I've had a really good year. But reflecting on those things, because I do want to learn and I do want to grow from my experiences, I started to look at patterns, right? Like whether it is in jobs or in relationships, which we'll get into a little bit more later on. But I had another job that I was fired from. Before this one. And I actually didn't tell anybody that I was fired. I think the only one that knows probably my sister, maybe a friend.
Okay.
And it was the same thing. I was very unhappy, but at this was a different situation though, because I was unhappy with my management.
Okay.
But I love the job so much. I love the job. I love the team that I work for. The organization, not so much, because I mean, I think the way that I process a lot of things is I don't look at things on a surface level. I like to go deep and dig in. Like I'm a Pisces, so I'm gonna be deep, you know. And I work for an organization, like a community organization, like a nonprofit that was doing a lot of great work, but it was still problematic, as many things are, you know. So to me, like I can give people or things or whatever, I can give you your flowers, but I can still be objective and say like, well, you're still fucking up in this way, you know? And that was my thought process with that other job. And then they fired me. Because
They
my
said,
manager,
"Bye, Felicia."
my manager was a bully. We're gonna have an episode where we talk specifically about jobs and all the BS that go into that.
Don't get me started with those managers.
No, girl,
it's like
it's on site.
I'm not trying to take your job.
Well,
girl, boy, bye. Like I don't want your job.
I just said right now it's on site because for a long time I felt that. Like if I bump into that B wherever I bump into her, I don't know. Like, but maybe not because now I'm a girl. I grew up and I
bumped into one of them. We didn't even acknowledge each other's presence. That's how deep I guess it was. I didn't even realize there was that much deepness. But yeah, we didn't even acknowledge each other's presence. We're sitting
witch.
Like in front of each other practically.
She's a freaking witch, and let me tell you the worst part is she hides behind like being like a Christian woman and like her husband is a pastor.
Don't get me started with those.
That's what I'm saying. We're gonna talk about it, but trying to make my point, as always we divert. I also like did not let go of that job, and at that time I was in a position to get another job if I wanted to. But I used to work with parents. Like, so what I used to do is I used to do workshops with parents, not just at one particular place, but I had different groups in different schools. And I honestly, like, I love working with parents. I worked like as a parent coordinator for the parent centers at schools, and I used to do workshops and stuff like that. To me, like, working with parents in schools was so dear and near to my heart because my mom was one of those parents.
So why were you so miserable there then?
Because of management. Because my manager was a bully.
But then they had to fire you.
No, they didn't have to. They chose to fire.
They can't handle the goodness.
We're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about it in another episode, and we're gonna talk about all the BS that people have put me through at work.
Why do you think you stayed there? Now it's 2 jobs, even though you were feeling it. Because I remember I was at a hotel almost the same amount of the restaurant, 7 years. I got harassed. I filed a complaint, and they didn't do nothing about it. That place now is under, so whatever.
Right.
But I stayed there with the freaking abuser in there, and like they didn't do nothing about it. And they pulled me into HR, and they said, Nancy, we're so sorry that that happened to you, but we're just gonna like, he's gonna take a leave of absence, but he doesn't want to apologize. He refuses to apologize because in his point of view,
doesn't want to admit
what
he doesn't want to admit guilt. Is that what it was?
No, he in his mind he said, because it wasn't sexual harassment, it was verbally harassed, and he
You're
said,
gonna be verbally harassed with his fist up in your face.
He said, I meant what I said, and I'm not gonna ask. Girl, I was like,
well, we're gonna talk about all of these things in another episode because we're gonna go deep into it. For me, at that job, it wasn't fear of like not being able to get another job like it was with this last job. For me, is I was heavily attached with the groups that I work with.
Well, yeah,
like I was heavily attached, and I don't think that sometimes organizations, that's one of the reasons that I was so hurt and offended by what they did to me at that job, is because if you're an organization that claims to do things to improve the livelihood of people in our community, what you did to me was wrong, because you just snatched me away from 5 different groups of parents that have an attachment to me, parents that feel comfortable with me. And at the end of the day, these are the community members that you're trying, or that you have made a commitment to support and to help their livelihood. And so imagine, like, it's almost like kids, you know, if you like have a tutor or a teacher or whatever, and then from one day to another they just leave, is the same thing. So
sometimes those corporations aren't there for what they say they're there for. They're for the other part, you know. And unfortunately, people that care like you get stuck in the middle of all that. And so this is your sign. If it's time to close that cycle at that job, let it go, girl.
Well, yeah, because I think that's one thing that we talked about earlier, right? Like, we get attached to situations or things or spaces or whatever.
La costumbre.
La costumbre es más fuerte que el amor.
Dijo Rocío Dúrcal.
Was it her or Juan Gabriel? I feel like it was
Juan Gabriel. Yeah. He wrote it.
He wrote it. He's the originator. You know, he's the blueprint. Writer. He's the blueprint.
Como decía, lo que se ve no se pregunta. Okay. So.
But yeah, so sometimes like we stay in places because we're not thinking about ourselves. We're thinking about others first. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also sometimes we stay in places because we're scared. So for me, those were the 2 different situations. Like, one, I was too attached to the work that I was doing, and I felt like I was gonna be letting them down if I quit. And then the other job, I was just scared to not have something to fall back on.
And that makes sense. I mean, jobs, they're your livelihood.
Yeah.
You pay your bills, right? And if it's there, and especially if it's a place where if you have seniority, you get extra perks. Like, it happens. It's okay. And it's just slowly finding a way. Okay, this is not working for me. Where else? Like, it took me a while to really make that executive decision of being like, this place is no longer serving me. What can I do? So 3 years prior, before I quit, I applied for a new job. And then I slowly started incorporating it. And I kept talking to one of my friends, and she was like, girl, what are you still doing? Like, you sound miserable. And I was like, you're right. She's like, at the working with the neurodivergent people, it's mental. Like, the exhaustion is mentally, like, it takes up a lot of energy. And then I would go to this place that was supposed to be my fun night job, and then it was physical pain.
Yeah.
So I was getting like depleted left and right.
Yeah.
Feeling left like, meh.
Well, you know what? Speaking of physical pain, so I got fired the last job that I was at. I got fired on a Monday, right? That whole weekend, my body was so tense. Like, my body was so tense. Like, my shoulders hurt.
Right before
I got fired. Like, literally, I was at a point at that job where I knew that the slightest thing was gonna set me off, and I was gonna end up walking away, which kind of happened. Like, when we talk about it, I'm gonna be able to explain a little bit more exactly how things happen. But I mean, they did fire me technically on paper, but I mean, I kind of like walked away. I was like, man, fuck. I literally walked out and I said, fuck this shit. I'm not dealing with it, and I got up and left.
Baddie, do what
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
do.
I'm
Don't
not about to play with my
don't hold it
time,
in.
and I know at the end of the day, regardless, and like yeah, that thing like did knock me down a lot, and it took me a minute to get back to a better place. But you know me, and people that know me know like I don't play about me. Like I do not play about me. I know who the hell I am. I know what I bring to the table, and I know that I am an amazing person. So I always knew like you're not gonna play in my face about me. I see, and I told them, I see you do these things to, I see you do this to other people here. I've seen people come out of this office in tears and just sit down and take it. That's not gonna be me.
Those are big bullies.
No, they're big bullies. Oh, and they got what they're coming for because I filed a complaint with the labor department and I won. So okay,
Get it, girl.
don't
Get
play.
it.
I will not play about me.
Mm-hmm.
The same way I go hard about all the things that I believe in. You know how I am.
Yeah.
I always gotta say something. I am definitely gonna stand up for myself all the time. So
And as you should. If you know it's not right, girl, say something.
yeah,
Because maybe you're that one person that's gonna speak up. When I filed the sexual harassment complaint,
hmm
all the girls in the department said, "Let me know where do I need to show up because he did it to me too." Like 5 girls sent
yeah,
me messages and we're like, "Let me know where to show up. I
hmm
got your back.
yeah,
You need someone else, like a witness, somebody. I'm here."
yeah,
And it all it takes is one person to
yeah,
speak up and
yeah,
say, "Hasta aquí, hasta
yeah.
ahora."
And you know what? When I filed my complaint, I initially thought of including other people that have been maybe fired prior or whatever,
Mhm.
or even still working at the company. I felt like you said, it only takes one person. Maybe we could all collectively join and do all of that.
Right.
But honestly, at that point, because they put me through a lot, I was like, you know what? Como dicen, there's a dicho in Spanish, I think, que like cada quien se rasca con sus propias uñas, right?
Yep.
Cada quien se rasca con sus propias uñas. And I'm like, you know what? Like, nobody really cares or knows that I'm struggling every day to get out of bed because I'm so freaking depressed that they just disposed me like trash.
Mhm.
So, no, I'm going to fight for myself and I'm only going to fight for myself. Like, everybody is entitled and free to fight for themselves. And if you don't feel like you can do it, pues that's your pedo at the end of the day.
Yeah. So speak up. This is your sign.
Yeah, speak up.
No te quedes callada.
Or at least if you don't feel like you can speak up, at least like try to move on from that situation.
That's true. Yeah. Find a
Yeah.
safe space first if you're required to do
Right.
that, and then make the transition like I did.
Yeah.
I transitioned out of it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know what is right now, just like briefly talking about standing up because it can look in many ways. But my mom back in the day, she used to work in a they used to be like abusing those employees all the time, and I'm like, I don't play about my mama. Just like I don't play about me, I don't play about my mama either. They told their employees that they were like no longer able to take 10-minute breaks. My mom came to me and she told me, like, can you believe they told us that we can't take 10-minute breaks anymore? And I said, says who? And she's like, they just told us that the manager told us that we're not allowed to take our 10-minute breaks.
They wanted a lawsuit.
That we only gonna take our 30-minute, of
Yeah.
course, unpaid break. And I said, absolutely not. And I went on the website. Like, I know my shit. One thing about me is like I know my shit. I may not know a lot of shit, but I know I may not know.
She knows her stuff.
I know my stuff. I'm sorry.
And her legal
Lo
rights.
siento, but
Okay,
I'm
ya sabes.
smart. Like, I am really smart. So I went on the website. I printed out the labor laws and I gave it to my mom and I said, next time they tell you can't take your break, you show them this paper. And I wish, like they say, I wish a mother effer would. I was waiting for them to say something else to her because I'm like, that's gonna be a lawsuit. And yes, they ended up. You know what happened? She did it, and then the manager was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to talk to like the regional manager about it." And the regional manager and HR reached out to my mom, and they denied. They literally threw the manager under the bus. They said, "We don't know why she told them that." And I said, "Well, you better talk to your manager because she is telling the employees that." And the manager was like, no, that's what they told me. And I said, girl, well, you better do something because,
Well, they knew.
Jobs are good. Yes. They just don't know what it is. They probably thought we're working with a bunch of, like older women or a lot of people, like sometimes they don't have the work the authorization to work. So we know that these jobs take advantage of people. 100%. And I said, that's not gonna be my mom, and that is not gonna be like the people that she works for. Because at that time, like I was rallying for her entire team. They literally came over to our house. We had a little meeting in the living room because I was preparing them to like resist them telling them because they were all like, okay, well, we're not gonna take our break. And I said, Absolutely not. You're taking your
You
10-minute
take your
break.
10 breaks,
Yeah.
mama. 10-minute break.
And homegirls.
And homegirls.
But anyways, that was my little story.
Well, with that being said, okay, so fear is usually a big root in it, because even your mom dealing with that, like el miedo de pues me van a regañar si lo tomo.
I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get in trouble.
El miedo, that damn fear, it creeps up everywhere, honestly. So I want to think, like, where else in your life has it creeped up? And when it comes to like expectations, personal expectations, per se, dreams, goals, ambitions, and we kind of touched a little bit on this in like one of the first episodes. Let's go a little bit deeper in that when it comes to actually closing.
Well, you know I'm a Pisces, so I like to go deep.
And I'm a Taurus. Water nurtures the earth. So come on, girl, nurture me with your
girl,
words.
You're about to get water on right now.
But yeah, so where has it been like letting go, ending that cycle of like, okay, esto no funcionó, no fue para mí, and with all my sadness or fear, I'm gonna let it go.
Whew. Damn, this is like the first time that I feel like I talk about this in a way where I don't break down.
Do I need a tissue?
I think I'm not gonna break down. I'm not gonna break down. But if I do, it's okay. You know,
baddies are allowed to have.
Baddies get sad too. Baddies cry too. Okay.
Even what is that song we were singing? I don't want to get into it. Okay.
I think for me, like one of the biggest things that I've had to overcome and like let go of the fear and all of that is like my life living here in the United States. Yeah.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? A ver.
That's what I'm saying. It's heavy. Yes. I feel like right now I'm really open and embracing like any changes that might come, whether it's by choice or something that I'm not like I have no power over. Yeah. But like we keep seeing like the state of this country and the things that are happening, and we're not gonna get too much into it because
we are not doing that right now.
Well, also they're coming for everybody right now. So
if you speak Spanish, they're coming.
No, they're saying you listen to music too loud, you go to jail.
At this point, that's
basically that meme is 100%. But I think also like as somebody that is as outspoken as I am, and I have toned it down a lot in the last years, not just right now. I think right now like I kind of picked back up on it a little bit because I was too late. Like they might already have a case on me. But because they're tracking everything. Yeah. They're like using AI to build these cases against people, and I am very aware that I am somebody that can be targeted, not just because of being outspoken, but because of the reality of my life. So yeah, I feel like for a long time, like that was a big fear that I had, like being in a position where it wasn't going to be up to me. But now I'm like, whatever, like I'm not like I know that I'm gonna make it happen no matter where I'm at, and I know that I'm gonna be good. And
what did you say in the last episode? Si tengo que vivir en un pueblo, everybody's
gonna know about me. Okay,
the baddies are coming to the pueblos if we have to.
I'm gonna start a reality show over there, like the baddies take on the pueblo,
and she's blessed with it. Okay.
Well, I mean, honestly, in reality, I do see myself like retiring and leaving. Like if you know what? Okay, what I'll say is like I had to think of myself like, what do I really want my life to look like? What do I really want my life to be? Because like the universe kept pushing me to that place, and I'm like, okay, Marianette, how do you want to live your life? Like dream big. Like the universe is giving you permission to dream, so dream. And I've always like I love the ocean, so to me, if I want to live in a small pueblo, whether it's in Mexico or like anywhere else. I mean, honestly, like we can literally live anywhere in the world. Like
the world is your
being
oyster.
in the United States makes you like you stay in this place
because everybody
comes here to make their dreams come true, right?
Right.
And we feel like we have to stay here to make our dreams come true, and that is not true.
Yeah, especially because I mean, I have immigrant parents, you too. And I go, they sacrifice so much for me to then get up and be like, Mom, quiero ir a vivir en Mexico.
Or anywhere else.
Or anywhere else, yeah. Like, what do you mean? Like, we gave everything for you to be here. And I'm so grateful. I always say, like, I'm very blessed where I was, like, place to be, you know. Yet, if there was that choice, I feel like I would feel guilty leaving my parents here after all they've done, and then choosing to pack my stuff and go somewhere else.
Right. Yeah, so to me, like, that is like one big part of like fear that I've let go on, because I'm like, I know that staying here or wanting to stay here is solely out of fear, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, so what do? You let go. Like, I let go of the attachment of being here. And I'm like, man, maybe like my purpose and my like dream is actually somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know? But in reality, how I want to live my life is I want to travel the world studying food. That's what I want to do. Like, I want to travel the world studying food, and me being here in this country doesn't allow me to do that. I also want to live in a small town that is a beach town, because I mean we don't have that here. At least I don't know.
Beaches here, but they're like,
But no, but like you see, like specifically Mexico. That's really all I can think about, because it's the only other place that I know. But Mexico has beautiful small towns, like beach towns. Like my family's from Jalisco. They're from Guadalajara, so like I said, they're from the city. But my dad actually has family all over the place, like Mazatlan. My dad his family is originally from Mazatlan, Sinaloa. So my dad comes from Mazatlan, Sinaloa, Guadalajara. We have family in TJ. My dad also has family in Leon, Guanajuato. Like literally, my family in Mexico is kind of all over the place, and they are like, at least like my dad's side of the family is like,
you talk to them, you keep in connection.
Well, yeah, I mean, and they are like they're successful. You know, they have like good lives over there. So, but anyways, we went to visit like 10 years ago. We went to visit, and they took us to this small town called Melake in Jalisco. It's a small beach town, and when I went, I was like 17 years old when I went, and I'm like, I would love to live in a place like this. I could see myself living in a small town, having a restaurant. And I know so many people in the States. I'd be like, come and stay for the weekend, and I'll cook for you.
A little hotel with your restaurant.
That's like I want to create an experience for people, and what better than good food, the ocean, and then having me as your host. You know,
Baddie,
good conversations,
blessing you times. With her cooking.
Yeah, I'm gonna start working on that, because that is the goal. Like, that is my goal. That is my dream right now.
Especially if you already have family out there that's very successful.
And I don't have anything tying me down.
At this point here in the US, no.
Yeah, somebody want to tie me down, then maybe I'll change my mind.
Because we can do this over Zoom. The podcast?
No, but I'm saying somebody wants to tie me down to this land.
Ahí les habla. Who's available? Mi amiga está lista.
Pero for real, because don't waste my time.
Yes, we don't have time to waste these days. Period.
Yeah,
in general.
I literally don't have to.
You don't want to do serious. Situationships are done with, at least in my life.
Well, I mean, like I said last time, everything serves the purpose for the time.
Here she goes. You know
Lo que sea, you know.
I'm not gonna get into that. That's
a story for another topic. I mean,
we'll get into that a little later in this podcast. In the time being, though, fear and closing out cycles when it comes to personal expectations. Yeah, detachment.
What about you? Do you feel like there's an aspect of like you have to like redirect yourself when it comes to your goals and your dreams? Or
I did. I was in a place where I used to study my arts for like 10 plus years, and it started out really positive, really impactful. I learned a lot. I'm very grateful for the experiences. And towards the end, it just started to get heavy on me. It felt heavy. It was weighing on me. And I started to really do a lot of deep mental work on myself. And I started to realize it was time to let go. But there was a big fear in me. It could have been instilled. I really don't know. I'm not going to point fingers, because they say when you point one finger, there's three pointing to you. So at the end of the day, it takes two to tango. So I was in there, and I didn't choose to move on. So I built up courage. I did a lot of work on myself. And the fear was, what if I leave this place? Will I ever become even successful? Will I continue to grow as an artist? Or is that going to be it? It was such a deep fear that it paralyzed me. Like, and I don't mean like I couldn't move. It's just like mentally I was stuck there.
Yeah.
For quite some time in that fear of like, where do I go? I don't know what to do.
Like, you don't trust yourself to make the next step.
my intuition was gone. Like there
Yeah.
was no personal intuition that could guide me to be like, no, you're gonna be safe. You are gonna be safe.
You know what? Right now that you say that is true, because when you're not in alignment with your purpose, like it clouds every aspect of
Everything.
yourself, and like that fear of feeling like a failure. You know, like when you feel like you have to give up on something, and also because like you deserve it, or you know that you're good at it. And at least for me with my job, was that it was like I deserve to have a good life. I deserve to have this job that pays me well, and I'm literally like on my own. You know what I mean? Like I was living it up, you know.
And the time invested also.
Yeah, because you prepare yourself to get to that place.
Yeah,
you didn't just wake up one day. Like I didn't just wake up one day and had that job. Like I had to go through like different jobs. And like I said, I am a baddie above all, and I managed to work my way up to these jobs. I had jobs that I was in the same field with people that had masters, and I didn't even have that.
that's
so,
right. I remember you telling me about it.
I remember one time somebody said like, "Well, that kind of sucks because like we all have a master's degree and blah 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 whatever." It was a man. It was their unsolicited opinions. But he said that, and I said, "Look, I got this job out of merit. I had to apply an interview just like anybody else did, and clearly they saw something in me that made me qualify for the job."
Exactly.
So
because I'm a baddie, you're not.
I am a baddie, yeah.
But yeah, so fear tends to be the root of a lot of times closing out cycles.
Yeah.
Eventually, I did make the choice to leave, and now it's been about 3 years since I've moved on from that place.
From
2 years.
Across the street?
No, from across the street, it's been only like 8 months.
I was about to say, girl. Like,
no, the other place that I was in for 10 years. That place, 10 plus years. Yeah, that place.
Mhm.
We're just not gonna name names.
No, of course not.
We're not gonna use names. Period.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Now I'm in a different place. I have found a new place where I do study my art.
I know what you're talking about.
I am so happy. I am so like I don't even have words to explain. Making that decision was the best decision because I reconnected with my art. I started creating in a different way. Like I have done so many new things in the last 2 years and a half since I left that place, and it's just like a fresh breath of air. Like,
there's more freedom.
El miedo se va. That's all I could say.
Yeah.
But it did take me a few months. After that I was like over analyzing, overthinking. Did I make the right decision? Should I go back? What did I do? And I think it was letting go of that expectation of like, I can do this and my arts can be accomplished, and maybe I'll just take a different route this time.
Yeah, because there's a difference that when you make the choice to give up on something, and then when that decision is made for you. So you have to like, honestly, like you have to figure out where you're at and like go from there and be able to move past that.
Yeah, and the best part for me is I didn't give up on my arts. Thank God.
Well, no, because look, we're here.
I rerouted.
Yeah.
And now I have an amazing new place that I go to, and that person just hypes me up every time I'm there. I just feel so inspired.
A lot of the times, like rejection is God's redirection.
100%. Yeah. And like what I told you earlier in the morning, it's like what I got hit with. Here we go again. Like, girl.
You know what? It's a hair flip.
Ooh. It's like whatever.
And we move on.
That's right.
Hair flip. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Hair flip.
It's like whatever.
And we move on. Okay.
But yeah, no, but it's true. It's just closing out those cycles and being okay with whatever it's going to come with, whatever that is.
Right.
You know? Y la costumbre
es más fuerte que el amor. Period.
Diría nuestro Juan Gabriel. So we don't want to do all that. But with that being said, la costumbre es más fuerte que el amor. Let's talk about those lovers. Donde no queremos soltar that cycle. And you don't want to let go of that situationship. Esa situación que dices, it's not good for me. Pero ahí sigo.
De terca. de migajera, ¿cómo dicen? Migajera.
Migajera. Oh my god. Yes, girl. Okay, like we did just talk about it previously in the last
but we
episode
didn't
about
go
lovers,
into
but
too much. Well,
yeah.
I mean, we could write a whole book when it comes to it. To
you
be
know
honest.
what I mean, girls? If you're female, you know. I mean, even if you're not female, just
Yeah.
love in
Yeah.
general. If you live a full life, love is juicy.
Yeah.
Love is juicy and full of secrets and lies.
And,
No, I'm just kidding.
And well, you know what? I will say one thing though that for me is like like there's been many experiences and some of them good, some of them bad, some of them more bad than good. Pero no matter what, my heart's always open. I'm a lover girl 100%.
Hopeless romantic over here.
Well, you know, there's another quote that I really like. I don't know if I mentioned it already.
Is it a quote day today? We're closing out with an affirmation then. Yeah. Okay? Yeah.
Well, have you ever seen this quote that is like, a romantic she was, but not a pendeja?
No.
Well, that's me, baby.
Is that, do we need a shirt that says that?
In
the front.
Yeah.
¿Qué va a decir?
Romantic, but not pendeja.
There we go. Romántica y atrás, pero no pendeja.
Oh yeah.
Okay, with the little baddie.
We need some merch. We need some merch because I feel like we got a lot of wisdom that we can throw in there. But 100%. Yeah, no matter like the situation, like how bad I'm scarred in a situationship, because they're all situationships at the end of the day. I'm never gonna fall in love again. You know, I'm never like that. I'm always like, okay, well, that didn't work out. Like, let's go to the next one. Like, life is about having fun. Life is about experiencing. So I'm always open and willing to do that. But that doesn't mean that I'm just going to sit here and take it. You know, I can play back too, you know. So
I'm an overthinker.
I'm an overthinker for sure.
And overanalyzer. So that makes me prolong making the decision. So like in the last episode I talked about that toxic relationship. Mm-hmm. It's like I was sitting in it and I knew it was bad, but my overthinking wouldn't let me physically move or remove myself from it. You know, it's like I start thinking, okay, you know what that means? Now you gotta start again. What's your favorite color? How many siblings do you have? Oh my god, really?
When I think about starting over, it does like make me feel like
que hueva.
Yeah.
But you know what? When you do find someone and you just click, it's funny because things just start unraveling with effortlessly.
Well, you know,
without even trying.
Yeah, I mean,
and it also takes two. So, see, I effort on the other side, then things just flow a little bit easier.
I will like all I can say is that I'm a person that I'm an overthinker, and I definitely overthink every aspect of my life. But at the same time, I'm a feeler, you know? Oh. I will dive into the feelings. Like, if it feels good, I'm going swimming.
Like, that's why she said you play with my hair. That's what she said that in that other episode.
But es que me gusta que me hagan piojito.
Oh,
you know that feeling? You know,
yes.
Like que te hagan piojito. I do it to myself too.
Yo soy la que lo hago.
So, I do it too.
So I don't really crave for people to do it, but I attract a lot of friends. I've noticed all my friends, close friends, les encanta que le hagan piojito.
I mean, nunca me has hecho piojito.
No, nunca. I know. A ver, amiga. Sí. Oh.
Well, the thing is, like I said, so I think that's also like kind of like a big part of myself is like I'm always like going into different directions.
Yeah.
Because I'm overthinking, but I'm also a feeler. And there was recently a situation that I was overthinking it too much. And then I said, you know what? Just go with the feelings, you know?
Yeah.
And I went with the feelings. And then later on, I was like, then I should have kept overthinking that. Yeah, I mean that's the truth. That is the truth. But you know, at the end of the day, whatever hair flip, it didn't work out. You know, you just move
it's
on.
Like whatever.
Like I'm not. You see all this, honey? I'm not.
I will never forget.
I'm not losing sleep over that.
When she said, "Me, all this on a silver platter."
Yeah.
Okay.
You can get it, but you don't want it. Then
yeah.
I'm never gonna. Okay, because we're talking about that right now. I'm gonna talk about the fear or whatever kept me from moving on. Not the situation that I just mentioned right now. Different situation. As you know, I was in a relationship for a really long time, and a lot of it, I knew for a while that it wasn't working out anymore, and it was really hard to accept that.
Right.
Really, really hard because like with everything else, oof, man, you see yourself, you envision. I'm a person that I have to really envision myself.
Yeah.
Like how I overthink stuff, a lot of it is like I have to really see myself in that life, whether it is in that job or with that person. So with that relationship for me, it was hard because it was the first time that I ever felt like I could
See a
like
future.
marry this person,
Mm.
like I could have kids. So giving up on that is hard. It's really hard. And when you think like it's not working out, you of course you still want to like try and you want to work, especially when you don't really know like what is it that is not working,
Right.
you know?
Like, ¿qué es lo que no funciona?
Like what is it? Like I feel like the last 2 years of our relationship, it was like I was just so confused because I knew this person loved me and I can feel it, but we could just not get past like certain
Mhm.
things. And it was just like I think it's even more like it adds to you romanticize struggle,
Romanticize
because you're like,
struggle.
we've been through so much, we've been through so much, so
La costumbre.
es más fuerte que el amor.
Here
Yeah.
we go. This is why we say that.
Yeah, and I do think for me in that relationship, because I still have a lot of love for this person and I like wish them like a lot of love and happiness. But I had to see myself out of this relationship and I really had to visualize myself like how would my life be if I let go of this relationship? And it was scary and there was a lot of fear. Um but then once I really visualized myself out of it, I couldn't look back anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of women are in relationships where they know it's not working out. But it's like my future without
Not
him.
just women, men too.
Men too,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah. Men, baddies.
Because I know some men that are in the same position.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's that starting with, okay, where do I see myself
Well,
without this person, this
mhm.
human in my life? How can I see myself? Can I?
Yeah.
First of all, you can. Second,
That.
it's that courage of like, okay, there can be a life after this without that human in my life.
Yeah, well, you know what? And I like in the another episode, I think it was like 2 episodes ago. I touched on briefly when I said like there's aspects of this relationship or like there's things about the relationship that only this person and I know.
Oh yeah.
And I also said like I wouldn't want to talk about certain things because they're between us. And also because like you're I'm still like processing stuff about it that to me is like it's like it would just be gossip, right?
Mhm.
But one thing that I do want to find a way to be able to talk about my experience is because I see a lot of people in relationships and a lot of people around me in relationships where it's clear that they're not happy, it's clear that their needs are not being met,
Mhm.
but like you said, they're just like la costumbre, están acostumbrados. So a lot of the times, I don't think it's so much like it's fear,
Mhm.
but it's costumbre, and it's
It's the habit of
it,
what you have.
yeah, it's a habit. It's comfortable. You know what I mean? Like it's
Comfortable.
comfortable. Like for me, at least, I know like with my previous relationship, it was very comfortable because we knew each other. I did feel like this person was my safe space, and I could be 100% myself. Well, at least in that at that moment I felt that. Now looking back, I do feel like it wasn't entirely true and I
Mhm.
was lying to myself. But when it comes to like just being able to put my wall down 100%, I did feel like that. Like I felt like it was a very safe relationship in that aspect, and I knew that this person had my back,
Mhm.
or at least I thought so in that moment.
Mhm.
But because as you once you're out of it, you see things with a different eye.
Girl, that goes with everything.
Yeah,
Once you remove yourself from the equation, you go, whoa, what was I
yeah,
doing there?
yeah.
How much was that really benefiting me? Well,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, they say you stay there because there is something that you are getting out of that. Whether that is the companionship, whether
Yeah.
that is just he or she is paying for that
Some
financial
people
help.
don't like to sleep alone.
Oh my God, you'd be shocked how many people rather mejor bueno, el buen dicho es mejor
Mejor
sola
sola
que
que
mal
mal
acompañada.
acompañada.
Pero some people is the opposite. I'd
Yeah.
rather stay with that than I don't know what else there is out there for me. I know people. I'm not gonna say he or she that go from one relationship to the other because of the fear of being alone. Being able to be single can be very challenging.
Hmm.
And why? Because one, you got to learn about yourself.
Yeah.
you start to see what it's like. And I think what helped really helped me was living on my own. At the end of the night, no hay nadie aquí. Like,
Right.
like there is no one else but me, my heart, and my soul.
Yeah. And Jesus.
And Jesus, amen. That's it. Okay. But like I remember when I moved out on my own, man, that was some dark night, especially because I had just broken up with that toxic relationship.
Oh.
So I was used to que él llegaba. And
Mm.
suddenly I was in a brand new apartment. Not gonna lie to you guys, my freaking walls creak because it's a wood roof. It's a wooden roof. So I say at night.
Yeah.
In a new space. I mean, I knew the city, but in a new space by myself. The studio's kind of big.
Yeah. It's hard. It's. I mean, it's always a weird feeling like when you're like in a new space, but yeah, I think for me, you know what, like one thing that has is different, at least for me. I'm reflecting as you're saying that, like, I've never really had a issue with being single or being by myself. I actually really enjoy it because I'm two different people, you know.
Yeah.
Like when I'm in a relationship, I am there and I'm like your number one fan and I love you, my man, my man, my man, my man, you know. But when I'm single, girl,
She said,
I got things to do and I got people to see, you know, like I just be so I am a different person when so I enjoy both aspects, you know. I love to be in a relationship.
She's a Pisces.
When it's right, I do like it because I am a lover girl and I just want to be like, you know, but also like I do really enjoy being single. Like so that's like that wasn't really a problem for me. But I think it was just like the first time that I ever really said like, damn, like I want to marry this person. I want to, you know, how I feel about kids. And I even like, there was a moment with this person that I wanted to have kids.
Wow.
Yeah. Because you see the love that you have with this person and you're like, I would love to see like a product of the two of us, you know?
Yeah, I do know. Yeah. I'm learning. Recently, I had options in life, you know, and I want to
What kind of options?
I had to really think, and I was overanalyzing every single thing because in one world there was something, and in the other world there was a whole different world, and I was like, okay, left, right, pivot here, pivot there. Where do I go? You know, and we'll get into that in more details in a different episode. But making that decision of like, okay, ¿qué posibilidades hay aquí? Because we are talking about closing cycles, saying goodbyes, knowing when it's the time to let go. There's also a one feeling that can come up, the feeling of guilt, of like, why did I do that?
Right.
Like, or
what was I thinking?
Second guessing yourself. So with that being said, when that feeling does come up, please say this affirmation. I'm allowed to pivot. I'm allowed to change.
Yeah. You are allowed to change your mind. And at the end of the day, you just have to think like, are you happy? Right? Are you happy in the situation that you're in, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, even with friendships and family? Sometimes you even just need like space to like, okay, let me see like how my life is gonna be outside of it. So something drastic doesn't have to happen for you to say, okay, I need to move past this. You know, just think of yourself like, are you happy? Are your needs being met? Are you getting what you need from either that job or that relationship or that goal,
that dream? Is it
like,
draining you more than it's giving you excitement?
Well, the thing is that to close it off, because it goes with pivot, why it's important to pivot and to be open to changing your mind is because sometimes we hold on to things because we don't know what's on the other side, you know. And when you allow space when you open up the door and let go of things that are not in your full potential or they're not really aligned to who you are and what your purpose is, you're opening the door for those things to actually come in. And you can see it, right? One example, we could see Carol G, which is like, look at her, you know, like she was in this really bad relationship. And if you saw her documentary, even her career, there's a lot of things that were happening in her career that were holding her back. And she let go. She let go of that. And now you see the glow up. Now you see my glow up. Now you see the glow. The glow up is ready for you. The glow up is waiting for you.
Just trust it.
Just go and get it.
Trust the process, as they would say. Confía.
Yeah.
That's all we can really do.
Trust in yourself
Mm-hmm.
and trust in the universe.
Yeah. Creator, whatever you want to name it.
God.
Because that's all you really have. Yourself and that higher being. With that being said, please turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single episode.
And don't forget to send this video to one of your baddie friends. Or all of them, because I'm sure you got a lot of baddie friends.
And subscribe, like, and comment. And we will see you next time. Bye, baddies.